He was a special person. You know, he supported us kids 100,000,000%. Whatever we wanted to do, he was there for. He worked hard. He was a jolly man. You know, he told me not to let my blindness slow me down. And I've tried to, you know, stick to that.
Welcome to Creepalachia. We have a music legend of the hills in the studio today with Randy Gilkey. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me. Glad to be with you.
Yep, Randy and Alex Bear came in. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to hear. Yeah. I'm excited to hear your story, Randy. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. So tell me about you, where you grew up, and all that good stuff.
I grew up in Oak Hill, West Virginia. I've been playing music a long time, since 1989. I really got started around 88 or 89. Just love doing this. I've been doing it a long time and love bringing happiness to people. You know, as far as being a blind musician, you know, the blindness aspect hasn't stopped me. You know, I've been able to get to where I'm going for 36 years now and still going on and still loving it and still getting nervous before the gigs and everything else, you know.
Yeah.
It's just been a lifelong love for me, and you know, it's making me happy, and I hope it makes a lot of other people happy.
For sure. What was the first instrument you learned?
Keyboards. Piano and keyboards, yes.
Nice. How old were you?
Well, I started messing with keyboards or piano when I was like 3 or 4. Somebody had given my parents one of the big, tall, upright pianos, so I gravitated towards that. And then I had one of those. They don't have them anymore, but they used to have these organs. You could turn them on, and they worked with like an air mechanism, and it made the organ make sounds like a reed organ, I guess you'd call it. So I had that, and I had the piano. And I was just drawn to it. I was drawn to music in general. Like my mom, while she was doing her housework when I was a toddler, she would turn on music for me, and it stuck, you know, and I would ask her to do it. I would seek the music out.
That's real cool. So let me ask you, so were you born blind, or did you become blind later in life, or how did that work?
I have a twin. I'm a twin, so I have a twin sister, Candy, and she can see just fine. But when we were born premature, so they left me in the incubator too long because she was having breathing troubles. So they sent her to another hospital, and they left me in the incubator too long. I guess there was a lot of confusion and sort of stuff going on, you know, so.
I got you. I guess it's all you've ever known, right? So how was life growing up and working through that?
Well, I went to regular school. I didn't go to a blindness specific school. Graduated from Oak Hill High School in 1994. So, you know, I went to regular school, and I read Braille and used the computer in school, in high school especially. But I used a Braille writer and used a cane and just did my thing. You know, I had what they call VI teachers that help you with like cane training and reading Braille and stuff like that. And I had those type of teachers that would come to the regular school and help me a lot of time during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just, you know, do my regular classes and stuff. And then the summer of 89 or around 89 is when I started playing. You know, I was going out of 7th grade into the 8th grade, and I started playing out in bars and stuff. But my dad would take us with him. He ran the mixer board, and he would make sure that, you know, I wasn't doing anything I wasn't supposed to be, and I wasn't interested in that anyways. I was interested in the music, you know. Now, I went through a drinking phase in my 30s, which lasted too long, but that was then. And, I don't do that anymore, but, just, I was focused on the music, and, I guess I was a pretty good student in school. I had, years where I'd do great and then years where I didn't do as good, but I, try to keep it rolling.
Sure. Music was the thing. So what is it about music that really spoke to you? It was like, did you know early, like, oh, this is what I'm born to do, is to be a musician? Is that kind of how it went, or
I guess? I mean,
did you instantly own the guitar like as soon as you started playing?
No.
I just feel like you did. I don't know.
No, I didn't. When I first started playing, I wasn't very good on keyboards or guitar or anything. But my dad was like, if you keep going, you're going to get good at this. And even when I started playing in clubs and stuff, when I was 11 and 12, I wasn't that good yet. But as the time went on, I got better and kept working at it and kept listening to me. I mean, I listened to so much music when I was a kid, all different styles, country, rap, oldies, just everything. The pop charts in the 80s, as well as the country stuff that was coming out in the 80s. Because, that's when that was my formidable years learning, is in the 80s. I started playing in places in 89. I played a few places before I played in bars. I played like in front of Hex. And
what's Hex?
It was an old department store.
Oh, cool.
I played at a laundromat one time in 1988. And just different places. And then I played up in Birch River and in the Summersville area when I started. But I didn't really do a whole lot of solo gigs when I started playing. It was mostly band related gigs. I didn't do any really solo gigs until about 1994 or so.
Right.
I got tired of the band members getting too drunk or whatever and letting me down. And so I got a drum machine and started playing by myself some.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So did you start writing songs pretty early, or, when did that come about? Was it covers early on? Or?
It's been covers for a long, long time. I didn't really start figuring that I could write anything until, I don't know, maybe 2000, 2001. And then I only wrote a couple songs then, I didn't really get serious about songwriting until 2023. Matt Mullins has this songwriter thing on Facebook called The Song Machine. And I'm involved with that. And they give you a topic every 2 weeks and you write a song about it. And, like I said, I wrote a few songs before that, but that's when I really got serious about it.
Yeah, Matt was telling me about the Song Machine. And it seems there's a lot of members on there. It's really an incredible thing, an outlet, especially for like Appalachia in general.
It is. We started out this year with 500 members. I don't know how many we have now. Maybe 80 or 100, maybe 180. I don't know. Because they've messed up Facebook and I can't see a lot of the stuff on it now with my screen reader.
Oh, really? Okay. So what's a screen reader? Tell me about that. Like, how do you browse the internet? I'm just really honestly curious how that works.
Now, when I record, I use a Mac, but when I look at the internet and stuff like that, I still use Windows. And it's just the screen reader just reads what's in front of you. You use your arrow keys and your tab key, and you can see like the Facebook page, but they've changed a lot of controls and buttons now. It used to be really, really great, but now it's just sort of great.
Right. I got you. So do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
It wasn't a very good song.
I mean, typically they ain't, but I'm just curious what it was about. Was it like about a romantic relationship or, beer or,
It was like a country song, and it did say something about had a few drinks and I'd never had any drinks at all. I was like 12 or 13. So it was a lame-o song, me trying to write a country song. It was more imitative than anything.
That's great. That's funny. So what would you consider your genre to be? You know, would it be, you know, folk, or what would you consider it to be?
I guess American music, Americana, because, you know, sometimes it's, you know, do a few classic country songs, and then sometimes do some rock, and then sometimes it's in between, you know. Sometimes it's soul based music almost. It's just a hodgepodge, you know. I guess I took all the styles I love and just, especially with my original music, and have synthesize all those styles into whatever I do.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. How many instruments do you play?
I play guitar and bass guitar, play keyboards. I can play drums and harmonica. And I was trying to learn how to play the pedal steel, and I can play it a little bit, a few little things, you know, but if I was to have to play it, I really couldn't play it, you know. I can play at it.
Right. What's the pedal steel?
It's the steel guitar, and they use the slide in their left hand. It's flat.
Right.
And they have the pedals on it, and you use your knee and your feet to control the pedals. And then it's got a volume pedal too. And so you use your feet and your knees and your hands all together to play the thing. So, I mean, it's complicated. They're very complicated.
Yeah.
But awesome sounding if somebody can work all those controls and make it do its thing.
Sure, yeah. So when you learned guitar, is it the typical progression that everyone learns? Like you learn your chords, you learn your scales, and then you kind of work your way up from there?
I don't really play a whole lot of scales and stuff like that. How I learned guitar, my brother would leave his guitar at home. He played as well. And he would leave his guitar at home, and I would mess with it when he was playing baseball. And I started learning stuff. So when we were learning how to play, you know, when I was in high school, he was a couple grades ahead of me. I would teach him the stuff I was learning, and then he would run with it. And because he was playing with us too for a while, but he got more interested in playing baseball and, you know, other stuff that he was doing in school. So he kind of dropped out of it and went to college up in Ohio and didn't really keep music going. Now my twin sister, she sang with our band as well too. When the first band I had was called Soul Survivors, and we had that from 1989 until 1994 or so. And so she sang with us for a while in that band. And we played everywhere. We played the Elks Lodge, the Moose Lodge, down at the Cameo Club in Hinton.
Oh, nice.
The Eagles Club in Beckley. I don't even remember where all the Pipe Stem we used to play all the time. I don't know, but around 94, I was graduating high school and everybody else wanted to do other things. So that band disintegrated, and I played in a country band for a while after I graduated high school for about 6 months. And then I don't know what, they wanted to do something else too. So I played with Jimmy Pino and his band for a little while. He had a band called Southern Justice in 95. And we played, used to be a place in Beckley here called the Roaring Twenties. We used to play there. There used to be another place in Glen Jean that burnt down called Roosters. We'd play there. And about 1996, I got an offer to join a road band called Under the Gun. And so with that job offer, they were making an album when I joined them. And I started doing studio work down in South Carolina for this record label called Repeat Records. I worked for them from 1996 or 97 until probably 2002 or 2003. Got to play with Chuck Berry one time because of that Repeat Records thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was weird. It was weird. Chuck didn't really talk to us or associate with us. He didn't even really want to do a sound check. He was like, just move the piano over there and move this over here. And so we were unprepared. The band was. The drummer, he didn't take it seriously. He he was also the guy that ran the studio, but he didn't take it seriously enough. So we didn't know the tunes good enough for Chuck, I don't guess. And he would stop and start and do some weird poetry, and he broke a string, and it was just a weird experience. But I mean, it was a cool thing to have gotten to do. It was down in Myrtle Beach in 1997 that we did this. And so it was a cool thing to have gotten to do, but it still was a weird thing also.
Dirty Myrtle. Heck yeah. Well, cool. What are some other times that stick out to you of where you played? I mean, it sounds like you've done hundreds and hundreds of shows.
Oh, I have done hundreds upon hundreds. I made a Christmas DVD one time with Maurice Williams. That was wild. That was cool.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. I don't know. Playing with the Carpenter Ants in Charleston. That was always fun.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I've played keyboards on Mountain Stage for other people. That's always been fun. I've gotten to do that 4 or 5 times. I've never played on there myself. It's always backing up somebody. But I got to do that a few times. Did the West Virginia Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony this year.
Oh yeah. How'd that go?
That was really cool. I got to play with, I'm trying to think of that country singer's name. Oh, he does that song, Country Girl, Shake It For Me.
It's not Luke Bryan, is it?
Luke Bryan, yes. Got to play with Luke.
Oh, cool.
And so that was very cool, you know. And
he got to play with you.
And, well, you know, it was very cool. I mean, he had great musicians with him.
Sure.
And then some of the musicians from Charleston that play on the Mountain Stage band backed him as well. And it was just a great experience to get to do it. You know, I like some modern country. It's not really my milieu, if you will, but I like some of it. I like Chris Stapleton really well.
Oh, he's good. Yeah. Very talented.
As far as country music goes, I like it to lean more to the traditional old school vibes of it. You know, a lot of steel guitar and a lot of meaningful lyrics and, you know, the old school stuff.
So you like Tyler Childers and
I do like Tyler. Yes.
Okay.
He's very good.
Yeah. Yeah. I love, that, Purgatory he released is one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
For sure. Very talented. Well, cool. So playing at Mountain Stage, tell me about Mountain Stage for someone who may not know. I mean, most people listening to this are going to know what it is, but I'm curious to know your experience there.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, they've got the finest facility, finest musicians. Backstage is a really cool vibe, you know. They always make sure all the musicians are fed and happy. And it's just an awesome venue. You know, Mountain Stage is a show that showcases primarily singers and songwriters. They have some bands on there as well. But it comes from the Mountain State of West Virginia, and the crew and the host, Kathy Mattea and Larry Gross, they do a wonderful job with it. And, you know, it's just been a wonderful show for our state, a wonderful thing for our state for a long, long time, you know, since 1983, I believe it was. So, you know, it's just been a beautiful thing that West Virginia has, and we might take it for granted a little bit, but we shouldn't.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful stage for sure. It's very cool. So being from Appalachia, like, what was life growing up for you? Have you ever, you know, did you go out, you know, do normal things that Appalachians do, or kind of what was your way of life growing up here?
Of course, you know, I went to 4-H and went swimming and stuff like that. We go watch my brother play baseball games, but I'd always take an instrument with me somewhere.
Harmonica or
a little keyboard, or when I was getting high school age, I had an acoustic guitar I took everywhere with me, and it was a piece of junk, but I liked it, and I was starting to learn how to play guitar. And so I took that thing everywhere with me. And you know, as I played, I got better. That's what I tell young musicians. Stick with it. Play it every day, even if you don't feel like it. Play it every day, at least a little while. Because, you know, the more you play, the better you're going to get.
Oh, yeah. Well, a majority of people, I mean, takes a really long time. And a lot of people don't, you know, I mean, one thing's guaranteed: you'll get as good as you possibly can get eventually. I think a lot of people quit way ahead of that time. they just get frustrated. Because I was in a little band for a few years. I played bass, and I never really passed that threshold. I was okay. I just never put the effort into it to be really good.
Yeah, you got to have that stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah.
And my dad, he pushed us to, keep going, keep it. He could see that I was drawn to it and I had a ability with it. So he pushed it, and he nourished it, He built me a studio out behind the house to practice, and eventually I put some recording stuff out there as well. But even in the 90s, he built that for me to keep my music going, because we were practicing in the house, and that was loud, for the family.
Sure.
Because back then we'd set up the whole PA, mic the drums and everything just for practice.
Right.
But Dad wanted to make sure that the show was the way it needed to be. So we did it like a show every time.
Did you live in the middle of 4 acres, or were there people around
Oh, we had neighbors right on top.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you, and you may have got lucky with cool neighbors, because I know I was friends with a drummer, and when he's playing drums, it was on Lover's Lane in Gary. The entire city of Gary could hear him playing drums.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious if you ever had any run-ins with with the neighbors.
Not really too bad. No, not really. No.
That's great. Yeah, that's cool. And it's cool you have a supportive parent like that, because I think it's so much harder for kids to really reach that next level when their parents aren't supportive like yours was.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Is your dad still alive?
No, he passed on in 2022.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I'm going to do a song I wrote for him today at some point.
Yeah, you want to do it now? Tell me about it. We can,
I might as well do it now since we brought it.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell me about writing this and the story behind it.
This one came to me in a flash. It's like God gave me this song because it just came to me. Psst, there's your song. And my dad liked to look at the old Mountain Trader and car books and stuff like that. Used old cars and stuff like that. And he would call and say, "Won't you buy me this car here, Randy? Won't you buy me this one there, boo?" And he'd call me every other week looking at cars. It's only $10,000. And I told him, I don't have $10, much less 10,000. But he loved old cars. He worked for Chrysler for 17 years. So, he was a car man.
Was he a car salesman or mechanic?
Worked in Michigan at the plant.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before him and my mom got married, back in the 60s, and he came back here to West Virginia in 1971.
Mm.
But he went up to Michigan in 54 and worked up there for Chrysler for 17 years, I think it was, he said.
Oh, wow.
So he was into cars, all different makes. And he wasn't just into Chrysler. He was into all of them. So I wrote him this song called "Beat Up Old Car Still Get You Where You Want to Go." And what it basically means is, although you had a hard life, you still got to heaven.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm going to crank your reverb up and
I'll sing it to you.
Yeah, it sounds great.
All right. I hope my voice don't crack. I ain't too warmed up, but we're going to give her a whirl here and see how far we get here.
That sounds great.
All right, here we go. Oh, beat up cars still get you where you want to go. She ain't much of a looker, but she sure got a lot of soul. When you're paying your dues, Lord, don't the wheels turn slow. Oh, beat up cars still get you where you want to go. Way back then, Dad loved them rattle traps, but he loved the fine cars too. I remember that Chevrolet and the old Ford 52. Oh, that truck got me in trouble one time. He was shopping at the store. He told me not to start her up. Well, I didn't do that no more. Here and now, well, now I'm playing in a band, and we're going just as far as we can. We rode in them beat-up trucks and the Ford Econoline vans, and we're picking our songs, living our truths, doing what we gotta do. We hope that you can hear our smile next time that we play for you. Oh, beat up cars still get you where you wanna go. Don't know where we're going, but I know that we're ready to roll. When you pay your dues, Lordy, don't the wheels turn slow. Oh, beat up cars still get you where you wanna go. Now he's gone, well now my dad is gone. His earthly race is run, but he's still here in our hearts. Well, you know he's number one. He used to read his old car books to see what'd been bought or sold, but now he's driving his Cadillac, rolling on the streets of gold. Oh, beat up cars still get you where you wanna go. Ah, we miss your dad, and you know that we love you so. Driving fast, don't let the wheels turn slow. Oh, beat up cars still get you where you wanna go.
Wow. Voice didn't crack, Randy.
It didn't crack this time.
No.
Now, sometimes it will.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's incredible. I can tell. So tell me about your dad. Who was he as a person? Like, what certain qualities?
He was cool. He loved all his kids. I don't want to get emotional thinking about him, but he was a special person. He supported us kids 100,000,000%. Whatever we wanted to do, he was there for. He worked hard. He was a jolly man. He told me not to let my blindness slow me down, and I've tried to, stick to that thought process, and he used to call me all the time. He'd say, you writing any good songs, Boo? You writing any good songs? I'd say, no, I don't guess so. Cause I wasn't. And then after he passed away, I was like, he knew I could do it. And so that's one of the reasons I've stuck with this song machine thing, is cause it's special, and to get your thoughts and your work. That used to be the thing that frustrated me about my music career or journey or whatever you want to call it, is I hadn't wrote many songs of my own. So I would see Matt Mullins and Nick Durham and my buddies, they're all thriving with their original songs. And here I am. I only got 2 or 3, So I was like, man, I got to get my stuff together. And another thing that made me start thinking about my career and getting my things together, I've been nominated for the West Virginia Music Hall of Fame twice. And whether I deserve it or not, I don't know. But I got to have something to show for that nomination. You know, I feel like if I got a few original songs, at least now I have a chance to maybe get in there one of these days.
Hey, that's gonna happen. I have no doubt. It's really incredible to watch you play. Just so, I mean, it looks effortlessly, and the reason is the thousands of hours you've put into learning it, and you can really tell when someone really put a lot of care into what they do. So it's just really, really cool to see.
Now, I will say this. I went through a period of my life where I drank too much. I'd say my late 20s and all through my 30s. And when I met my wife, I was still drinking too much, and came home too drunk and made a fool of myself, and just was too drunk. I wasn't mean to her or nothing, just was too peed out in the snow and all kinds of junk. You know? And so she told me, you got to stop this. You're killing yourself. And I promised her that day, April 9th, 2017. I promised. And we started going to church as well. And I promised her, I'll give that alcohol up for you and for God and for my music and everything.
That's beautiful. And shout out Chrissy. That's who messaged me.
My wife, Chrissy.
Yep. That's who messaged me, and we got this going. So tell me about Chrissy. How'd y'all meet?
I was going to a center in Beckley for a little while for people with disabilities. And it was a cool center, but it seemed like a lot of the curriculum wasn't geared towards blind people. But anyways, I was going there for a while, and we had a day where they were having snacks and stuff, and she was there making the snacks. And so we had lunch together there at the center that day, and we had a laugh and a good time and just joked around at lunch. I was like, man, I'm going to call her back. And so I didn't call her for a few weeks. And then I called her, and somebody told me she'd like the McRib sandwich at McDonald's. And so I liked it too. And I called her and asked her if she wanted to go get one.
Perfect.
And so we didn't go get one. We went and had Chinese that first date, but we eventually made it to go get a McRib at McDonald's. And just, after I called her that time and we talked and went out a few times, it stuck,
What year was that?
At the end of 2016.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So we've been together almost 10 years.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. And she's the best thing that's happened to me. We got grandkids together, and they're special and sweet, and watching them grow and learn is amazing.
That's beautiful. How old are your grandkids?
Let's see. Theo is 2, Eleanor's 4, Berkeley, she's 1, Gage and Bronson, they're probably 6 or 7 or 8 or 9.
Okay, so you got a full house.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Grandkids now. Yeah. So we're actually looking to move here soon because we need a bigger house. Just ain't got enough room with all the music equipment and the grandkids coming to visit and everything. We're just gonna have to get a bigger. I want to move out into the country so we can really have jam sessions at night and stuff.
Oh, that'd be cool. Just build your barn out in the middle of nowhere somewhere. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Tell me about your musician friendships. So you mentioned Matt and Nick Durham, and I've heard those names several times. How did you get to meet these fellas and kind of get absorbed into the culture around here?
After that band I was talking about, High Rise, broke up, or I may not have told you about them. In 2000, let's see, ahead of myself. In 96, we started this road band. We called it High Rise. Me and a guy from Princeton, Dave Mann, played the bass. Donnie Higgins, he's from Bristol, Virginia. He played the drums. And Travis Newman, he lives in Nashville now, and he plays with Tracy Lawrence.
Oh, nice.
But he played the guitar, and he was young. So Travis and I were like the young guns in this, but the young hot pickers or whatever you want to say. Because we primarily played country at that time. So like from 1996 until 2003, I was in what you'd call maybe like a variety party band, but we primarily played country, and we played all covers. We didn't do any originals. Mm-hmm. Well, we did a couple originals on our album we made in 2001, but other than those originals, we didn't do any originals. But we played in Terre Haute, Indiana. We played Holiday Inns. We played, down in Bristol, Virginia at a couple places. We played in Tennessee, out in Terre Haute. I think I might have said that already. But and then after that fell apart at the end of 2003, 2004, I just sort of, I don't know. I went to a lot of open mics and stuff like that. And I didn't play absolutely no country music. Mm-hmm. I was burnt out on what modern country music had became at the time. So I didn't play any. I played the folky stuff like Bob Dylan, John Prine, stuff like that. And I was going to open mics with this guy, Benny Atkinson, and Chris Hale. This other fella used to play music around here in Beckley. He passed away in 2015, but he was a good soul too. Mm. But Chris would take me to these open mics and to these coffee shop open mics. And I was just trying to find my footing again as a player. And I was starting to get interested in playing guitar a little bit more, acoustic guitar, especially around 2004. And so at the end of 2004, I met Matt Mullins. He said it was before that. And I probably did meet him before that, but I didn't really take note of him until the end of 2004. He came to record. I was starting to get some studio stuff together, and he came to record with me, and I didn't know what I was doing, but, the CD he did a 5-song little EP. It still turned out pretty good. And then, so, I guess Matt and Nick must have went to school together. Mm-hmm. And so Nick came to visit with me and record as well. And we drank a cup of coffee and laughed together. And me and Nick did. And I made him feel comfortable. He was very young, maybe 18 or 19. And so we recorded as well. And his CD turned out pretty good too. And so, after that, maybe a year after that, they started having Old School Abbey. They got Old School Abbey going. And so, I didn't play with them too many gigs there at first, but, around 2008 or 2009, I started playing gigs with Old School Abbey. And then Old School Abbey sort of fell apart. And, Rob Gross, he's a drummer from the Fayetteville, Oak Hill area. He was staying at my house and hanging out with me. I was like, man, I'm going to teach you how to play the blues. And so he started playing with Nick Durham and Matt Mullins and myself, and that's how we had the Boatman. Mm-hmm. We were going to play one of the rafting companies, and the sign on the door said something about men's, women's, or something about boatmen. Or something. I can't remember how we came up with the name The Boatman, but it was at one of those rafting companies playing on Monday night wing night at Class 6, Mm-hmm. So Rob Gross, Matt Mullins, and Nick Durham and myself, we started playing, the four of us. And we played for a lot of years and had a great group. We've talked about getting a reunion of it going to, I don't know if we ever will, but man, we had 3-part harmony, Crosby, Stills and Nash style harmony. And we had a great group for a lot of years. I guess that's how I got in this, scene again in Beckley, was, doing that with Matt and Nick.
That's great. Yeah. I remember hearing the Boatman playing, what was that, about 10 years ago? 10 years ago? I can't remember.
Let's see. We really got going around 2010. And it was starting to fall apart around 2015 or 16.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, cool.
Nobody's mad at each other or anything like that either. It's just Matt Mullins, he started his Bring Downs group, and then Nick, he wanted to take a break from music for a little while, and just, life happened to all of us. And
oh yeah. Well, 7 years, that's like an incredibly long time to keep a band together, in my opinion. It's hard to keep them together for a year sometimes.
Right.
But yeah. Well, I got to ask you, so some of your older country, is there like a cover song that's a favorite to you? Or, are you Johnny Cash fan or Hank Williams more? Or like what's your influences there?
Let's see. I like Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, both. I really love Merle Haggard.
Okay. Yep.
Man, Merle Haggard is just killer. George Jones too. I got to open for George Jones one time down in Princeton or Bluefield, down that area.
Okay. That was toward when he was toward the end of his career, right?
It was in 1997.
Okay.
Trying to think of the name of the place we opened for him at. It was like it was a bar, but it was like a big theater bar. I think it was Gary's or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a cool deal. I was a high rise band again back then, and we got to meet George Jones's band and hung out with his bass player and sang harmony with him and just being silly, standing around the bar, and George's band were all very cool to us, and they didn't have no ego trip towards us. They just treated us like young and up and coming players. They were all very sweet to us. In the music business, you'd be surprised how ego driven it can sometimes be. And I haven't seen that too much here lately, but it does happen. And it's sad when it happens,
Well, now people will get videoed and called out on the internet, so they kind of calm down on that. But so, did you meet George?
I didn't get to meet George.
Gotcha. So he just rolled up and sang his rocking chair and left.
Yeah, he just rolled up and sang his tunes and got back on the bus.
Gotcha. Okay, well, that's still cool. Yeah, I think the closest person I've met is my mom met the keyboard player of Billy Ray Cyrus when she worked at Bob Evans in Ashland, Kentucky. That's the closest thing I have.
I met Dave Allen Coe's keyboard player one time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And he's a blind fella, and he was cool. He didn't have any, really weird stories to tell or nothing. He just was enjoying his job playing with David Allen Coe, that was in Beckley at Munchie's.
Oh, okay.
That place used to be happening.
Yeah, I got you. How many states have you been to?
I see. North and South Carolina, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia. Is that all?
I mean, it's pretty good.
I guess that's all.
Well,
Georgia, and Florida.
That's pretty well. Standard West Virginia list is I've been to Tennessee, North Carolina, and Florida.
Oh, in Tennessee,
that's the standard list.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty awesome. So you played in all those places?
Yes, sir.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, let's think of another song. What do you want to play for us next, and give me a little story about? Is there something that sticks out to you? I love your dad's song. Thank you for sharing that with me. That was beautiful.
Yes, thank you. I hope he can hear it somehow on Heaven's Radio. I had to write him a song,
Yep. Sounds like a great guy, man.
Oh, he was. And he was so good to all of us. He didn't act like he had a favorite kid. He just loved us all the same, and it was genuine. And he didn't treat me any different because I was blind, or didn't act like I deserved any sort of special treatment or anything. He let me fall and get hurt just like any of the other ones did.
Yeah. And I'd say that really helped shape you to, to be okay as you grew up, and to kind of, feel your way around the world. And I know I had a lot of, it wasn't my dad, but I had a lot of mentors and role models in my life like that. So that's really special.
Right.
Yeah. All right. What are we thinking next?
Let's see. I got this other original here. I'll play you one of the ones I wrote back in the early 2000s. I wrote this one when I was still in the High Rise band. They broke down in the band truck in Indiana. And me and the drummer, we made it on home. So I didn't want to think about them being broke down in the band truck. I wanted to write a cool little, just an uplifting song. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this song, this is one of the ones I wrote before I got in the song machine. When I was just seeing if I could maybe write a song. I wrote this in probably 2000, 2001. And it's called Love One Another Children. It's sort of a reggae song. Gotcha. But I wrote it because the boys in the band truck were broke down and we'd made it home. Two of us had made it home. And I didn't want to think about them being broke down. I wanted to think about happy stuff.
I got you.
And a lot of times when I write a song, I'll use a drum machine. I'll turn it on and get it, beat going. And it'll give me sort of a vibe to what kind of song I want to write, mm-hmm. depending on what kind of beat it is. So I use the reggae beat on this Elisa's drum machine I got. And wrote this song.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
Okay. We gotta love one another, children. We gotta believe in one another. We gotta stop all the fighting and the killing. If we want to live to see our brother. We gotta live for one another, children. It's been time for a change. It's been time for a change for a long, long time. We gotta believe in one another, brother, or else it's gonna be the end of time. Oh no, the end of time. I know that times are hard and I know the world is rough. But you got to believe and don't take stock in all that false stuff. I know it's hard for you. Can't remember the chords of my own song. But if you believe, my brother, it will come true for you. For you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We gotta love one another, children. We gotta believe in one another. We gotta stop all the fighting and the killing. If we want to live to see our brother. Oh yeah. Love one another, children. One another, children.
versatility, my friend. That was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I could watch you play solos for like 17 hours. Like it's just so comforting. I don't know. And your voice is just it's really special.
It's wanting to give me a little bit of trouble today, but
I cannot tell.
That's just,
I mean, my goodness. If it has to give you a little trouble because if it's even any more beautiful, people's heads will just explode. I mean, it's just.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love to sing. Now, my dad, he used to encourage me with my singing. I'll tell you a funny story about him.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, when I was first starting out, I was trying to learn a country song. I can't remember which one, but he's like, "You got to sing through your nose," and so I put my nose up to the mic, and he's like, no, you got to sing it twangy like. And I was like, oh. Because he would come down in the basement with me when I was practicing. He would sit with me and listen to me learning the songs. And he'd help me figure out which ones to learn. And like when I was first starting, I played a lot of oldies because that was the stuff he liked. But they were also easy songs to learn, so I didn't care. I think we did Funky Comedina in the first band I was in.
Oh, nice.
And we did let's see.
Was that Tone Loc?
Yeah. I mean, because it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. It was just easy. We did the Twist, and we did Goodness Gracious, Great Balls of Fire. Of course, I played that one. One time, I won a bet when I was a little kid. I was starting to get pretty decent at the piano. I wasn't great yet, but I could play Last Date by Floyd Kramer. So I bet this guy, I could listen to his Walkman. He had a Walkman and he had Ozzy Osbourne on his Walkman. So I bet him I could listen to the Walkman and play Last Date at the same time and not mess up. And so I won $10.
Oh, nice.
On that bet.
Nice.
And when I first started playing, it was just such a rush to get to play and because Dad, he kept us busy. He kept us booked, in that first band, Soul Survivors, he kept us working, every weekend almost,
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't always the fanciest place, but it was somewhere.
How many siblings do you have?
So you got a twin sister, you got a brother, and then I have 2 half sisters.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're like the redneck Jackson 5.
I guess.
It's that's cool. Except his dad was, not like your dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool. So, tell me about, typically you play keys or guitar in bands? Or like, I know all the other instruments, but did you ever play bass in a band or anything like that?
Just jamming with, Mike Snodgrass. I play bass with him sometimes, and just with him, but I've played bass on a lot of records.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I typically play keyboards in bands, but I'll do solo gigs on the acoustic, and I also play guitar in the MFB. That's one of the bands I play in.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't just play guitar. I have a stand set up beside my keyboard that has the guitar on it.
Mm.
So I'll play the keyboard and then I'll turn around and play the guitar and then play the keyboard some more,
Now, do you play the bass, this open style too, on your lap? Or do you kind of, do you play when you stand or?
I can stand and play the bass, but I still play it over the neck like this.
Got it. Okay.
And I like playing bass. I've gotten pretty good at playing bass over the years. I guess playing the keyboard, if you can play the keyboard, you can learn how to play anything because the piano gives you all 88 notes right there in front of you. So if you can learn how to do that, you can learn how to play guitar or bass if you really want to do it. It's just, you got to sit down and apply. The scale and the notes don't go the same as they do on a piano, but it's still, you still have a starting point because of the piano, I think.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, that makes sense. Well, and I know, like me, I don't read music. I played by ear a lot, which I haven't ever since I picked up a camera. I put down my bass, which is sad, but you only have so much time.
Right.
But I remember when I was little, I could just hear a song and pick it out.
Right.
And play it on the thing. But I never could read, actual music or.
I tried to learn how to read Braille music, because I played trumpet in the school. Well, it was actually cornet, which is a small trumpet in the school band. And so they were trying to get me to learn how to read Braille music then, but they would change the code every 2 or 3 years. So I really didn't apply myself because I would get frustrated because it would change so much.
Change
so
the
quickly.
code. What do you mean?
The Braille code for the reading music, they would change the way that the Braille music looked every 2 or 3 years. It's the way it looked in Braille,
Sure. I wonder why.
I don't know, but they constantly did.
Yeah. What is it like navigating around these towns in Appalachia? Like, are they very, blind friendly or is accessibility a real issue around here compared to, big cities like Charlotte or, wherever, name any city?
Well, I've got a lot of blind friends that take Ubers and stuff, and I don't really do that so much. But, that's one thing that big cities definitely offer that we don't have here in West Virginia. But I'd say, a lot of the places are reasonably accessible, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to play and make a living this is the 36th year. And I noticed, like, in Beckley and Charleston, they're, like, more accessible than maybe somewhere down in the country, than
McDowell County.
Yeah, I'm down in Hinton or somewhere.
Sir, no, I got you. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's bring another song up here. What are you thinking? And I know you mentioned playing a few. I'm good if you want to play 100. It don't matter to me. But I'm just curious and I like to stick with the ones you wrote. I mean, cover songs you can play those wherever.
Right.
So, yeah, I want to hear what you wrote and the stories behind it.
Well, I'm going to play you one of my originals about just being tired of the news and the politics.
Ooh,
I'll be honest, I'm not really into politics too much. I used to be, but politics causes too many people to fuss, and I'd rather have my friends. So I just don't talk about it.
Dude, that's what you got to do. That's why on the show I'm like, there's one rule: no politics.
Yeah, I think that as a society we've been saturated with politics. Politics this, politics that. Bull mess on that. Let's get back to talking about fishing and picking the guitar and eating some pinto beans and just regular stuff. People have gotten so wrapped up in politics, they've forgotten how to live and think, unless it's related to that.
Yeah. And screens too, because think about how I haven't known what my neighbor's political affiliation is my entire life. And I like it that way. I think the only thing that makes us mad is when we watch this screen and we see, we're supposed to be so mad right now. Of course there are things going on, but at the same time, in general, the people you meet, really great people. Right. I mean, you have very few negative interactions. Right. At least I do. And
I've learned as I'm getting older. I'll be 49 in September. I don't like to be around negative energy. And I think back in my drinking days, I was probably pretty negative myself. But ever since I started going to church and God has helped me walk in a better light, I don't want to be around negative energy or negative people. I can't. I've worked too hard, too long to have a negative bring it down. Yeah. I just can't. Yeah. I can't deal with that, man. Life's too short to be negative and have a bad attitude. I've played with people in the past, and I won't say who they were or weren't, but they have a bad attitude before the thing even started.
Yeah.
And, it just makes you want to put your piano back in the case and go to the house, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we get into it for fun, and eventually some people turn it into this monster.
That's why I'm doing it, because I love to do it. I love to sing for people. And this fella here that's with me today, Alex Bear, him and I do a duo gig, and he plays the guitar and I play the keyboards, and we use a drum machine. But we have the best time. And, he's quite a bit younger than me. And to watch him learning and growing as a musician, it's just been awesome for me to watch it, because I was that kid too, playing with older people years ago and learning,
Mm-hmm.
So to get to do that and to get to see that happen, and like we're playing in Summersville on Friday. And so, to get to see that energy, it's amazing. But back to this song.
Sure. And I want to ask you about your journey with God after this, because I would love to hear about that.
Okay.
But yeah, go right ahead.
I wrote this, though. I just got tired of people being so whatever their side is on politics, I just feel like it's a static that's keeping us from reality. So I wrote this song here. It goes like this. Turn off the news, turn off your screen. If you want to start living the American dream, take your little boy fishing, he's been wanting to go all day. Take your daughter to the art show or to the ballet. If you want to start living feeling free, turn off the news, turn off your screen. You could go for a Sunday drive, make you feel so alive. The news just keeps us confused with political blues that we can't use. If you want to start living and feeling free, turn off the news, turn off your screen. Take your wife to the movie, she's been wanting to go all day. Let her know that you love her and you'll always stay. If you want to start living, feeling free, turn off the news, turn off your screen. American dream's not money, it's your family, with everyone happy and healthy. Everyone healthy and happy. Turn off the news, turn off your screen. If you want to start living the American dream, turn off the news, turn off your screen. If you want to start living the American dream, if you want to start living the American dream, rediscover one another, turn off your screen.
Preach. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Man, that got me. I was like, oh, I'm tearing up right now. It's going to happen. Haven't cried on the show yet.
Well,
I still held it, Randy.
That's good. I didn't manage to do that.
Oh man, listen.
I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm so grateful to hear about your dad, and we need to memorialize him, because it meant a lot to you, and obviously is part of why you are who you are. So it's only right that we talk about that and get emotional about it.
I mean, he lit a fire under my butt at such a young age, and it's stuck, and he did it in such a way. He wasn't forceful with it. He was, what's the right word? Gracious.
Grace. Yes.
And he saw that I had a special ability, I guess. And he helped nurture it. And I appreciate him for it.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely right. I mean, anyone hear you play and is going to know that instantly. So I'm very glad for him and glad for you being here. So at some point, you found God. And I love hearing about this because I'm always searching. I've been searching my whole life, and I still don't really know anything yet. But I'm curious how you could tell that you had a new direction you had to take after that happened.
Well, I was tired of being tired, and I knew that this music came from somewhere. It didn't just come from space, and so I my grandfather on my mom's side, he was a preacher. And when I was a kid, I wanted to play the piano at church, and they wouldn't let me because I played rock and roll. And so there was another woman in our family that played the piano for the church, and I would play at the piano before church started, but they would never let me play any hymns on it. I don't know why, but so that discouraged me from trying to listen to what they were preaching about when I was a young kid, I guess. But as I, became an adult and dealt with all this junk I dealt with in my 30s and drinking too much, and then figuring out I needed to make a change, I went to church. I'll go to a tabernacle in Oak Hill, and I just felt the Holy Spirit, and it moved me. And I hate it that some people think religion is a right wing or a left wing thing. It's not. Anybody that thinks that, they're not paying any attention. I know sometimes it seems like the media wants to spin it in that direction, but it's not. It's not that at all. The right wing, left wing don't have anything to do with going to church, reading the Bible, and believing in God. It just don't.
It's man-made.
It's a man-made excuse to keep people arguing again. That's all this political stuff is. It's just excuse to keep people back and forth at each other and not, understanding each other. Right.
Yeah.
And these TV channels, they want to keep the fire stoked, and turn that mess off. You don't need to let's take your little boy fishing. Like I said in the song, get outside, go rafting, go anything, but, the propaganda machine that they're wanting to feed us, that's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That really spoke out. I'm like, I'm guilty myself of doing something else, whatever it may be. Nothing is as important as my, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old daughter as she grows throughout the years. There's so much better things I could be doing right now with her instead of worrying about this screen and what it's telling me.
Right.
So that really stuck. It's like they're sitting there wanting to go out, and they're, she's not going to want to do that with me her entire life. She's going to grow up. She's going to have her own goals and her own life. And it's like you're just, you're wasting this time that you could be with your family, hours and hours per day we're doing.
Family, that's the thing that Chrissy showed me. It's important. Our grandkids and our family life we have, it's wonderful. Chrissy and I, we don't fight about nothing. We're happy together. She's had a lot of health problems here lately. She just had her knee replaced and getting ready to have her hip replaced. And so she's had her health issues. These past 5 years, she's had a health journey, but I've stuck right with her, and I'm going to stick with her because, like she showed me, family, the love that you have with your family, kids, grandkids, that's all, that's what it's about. It's not about getting drunk on Saturday night. I'm not discouraging any drinkers. If that's what you want to do, that's your life. But eventually, you're going to get tired of that mess.
Yeah.
I want to do a song, though, I wrote for Chrissy real quick.
Yeah. Lord, yeah.
Might be since we're talking about family.
Sure.
And this I don't know. I might play one more after this. I might not. I don't know. But I want to do this song while I'm thinking about her and just thinking about our life. And I'm just going to say, I've had ups and downs in my life as far as depression and stuff like that. But I am really in a happy place right now. And growing older, I like it.
Heck yeah.
Because, when you're in your 20s and your 30s, you're worried about, oh man, do they think I'm cool and all this and that. Mm-hmm. But once you hit 40, you quit worrying about that stuff. You quit thinking about it. You just do what you're wanting to do. And if it's cool or whatever, it'll come through. And how do you define cool anyways? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And oftentimes the light switch doesn't click until you have that thought and you start seeing people appreciate that. Does that make sense? Like, it's like you stopped worrying about all this pettiness and you wanted to be real, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I think that's another thing that life is all about, being yourself. You can't be anybody else. Don't even try that mess. You got to be yourself. Like I used to try to run from how country I am a little bit. But why run from that? I mean, we were from West Virginia, where you eat pinto beans and cornbread and go to church on Sundays. That's what we do here in West Virginia, And I mean, that's not all we eat, but
we eat a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. And it's all good.
you can't run from who you are. That's what I was trying to say, though. But I'm going to play this song here real quick.
All right. You're reverbed up, sir, when you're ready.
And this song was also, I'm a big John Prine fan, so I sort of wrote it in that style of song. I hope people don't think I'm trying to rip him off or nothing. Nowhere special. I'm nowhere special. I'm nowhere special if I ain't with you. I could drive across the country, visit my friends and my family, and it wouldn't be special if I ain't traveling with you. Eat at a 5-star restaurant, order whatever kind of meal I want. Well, it wouldn't taste special if I ain't eating with you. Well, I'm nowhere special. Nowhere special. I'm nowhere special if I ain't with you. I could fly on a rocket ship, take an interplanetarium trip, and it wouldn't be special if I ain't flying with you. I'm nowhere special. Nowhere special. I'm nowhere special if I ain't with you. I could fly on an aeroplane, maybe glide on an Amtrak train. Well, it wouldn't be special if I ain't rambling with you. Well, I'm nowhere special. Nowhere special. I'm nowhere special if I ain't with you. I'm nowhere special. Nowhere special. I'm nowhere special if I ain't with you. Well, I'm nowhere special if I ain't with you.
Beautiful. If there's one thing we learned today, Randy loves Chrissy.
Yes, I do. She's brought me a lot of light in my life.
That's great, man. I tell you what, anyone who has a special partner out there knows exactly what you mean. I'm the same way. So couldn't do anything without mine, and I'm glad you found yours. And I think we did it, Randy.
I think so.
Yeah. Where all can people? You got any shows lined up? Where can they get your music?
I just want to send out a couple shout outs to my buddies in the Carpenter Ants. Love you guys. Hope to get to play with you all again soon. Play with the MFB. We're playing on Saturday at I don't remember the name of the festival, but it's in Nolan, West Virginia. Alex and myself, we call ourselves a dynamic duo. We are playing Friday in Summersville. This don't come out until the 18th.
Yep, 18th. Yep, be a little bit.
So that'll be already happening.
It was a great show.
It was a great gig. Yes, we had a wonderful time. We're playing the Hinton Waterfest tonight. If it comes out on the 18th, let's see, what is the 18th on? It's on a Friday.
Man, if you did you just cold call when that is? Let me look here. 18th is on a. Yep, it's Friday.
Let's see. We are playing in Charleston or Lake Stevens with who? Chris Harris and the Legion of Salty. I play with so many groups. I play with Chris Harris and his group, Legion of Salty Dogs. Play with the MFB from Huntington. Great group. Like I said, Alex and myself play. And then I play with a group from Oak Hill called Street Heat. That are some folks that used to play back in the 80s, and they're just now getting their things together again. And they got a cool group. Cause they're doing like Janet Jackson and, the Jackson 5, and they have a female singer and she's great. And, I'm telling you, it's just a cool band. And when I was first starting to play, I used to hear their band Street Heat, and I was like, man, they are kicking. I want to be in that band. And so it's weird how, situations happen, and, I got to join up with them this summer. Their other keyboard player, he got sick or something happened. He couldn't play anymore. So they wanted to get their band rolling again. And I was obliged, glad to have gotten to be asked. Yeah. And, like anybody I play with, all the musicians I've played with, I'm glad I got to be a part of your journey, with you. And just looking forward to keep this music thing rolling. I've been doing it 36 years so far. And Lord willing, I'm going to keep doing it 36 more.
Just get started. That's great. Is there somewhere on social media people can follow you and kind of keep up with what's going on? Or
let's see. Randy Gilkey Music is a thing on Facebook that I have that I need to update a little bit. And then I have some videos on YouTube. And then I also have an Instagram that has a few videos on it. Randy Gilkey. And then, just my Facebook regular page, just Randy Gilkey on Facebook. But, I'm working on a new album of tunes. A lot of these originals that I played today on the show, I have recorded already in certain, amounts of finishedness. And so hopefully I can get all those finished this year and out. That's something I like to try to at least have done by Christmas time.
Yeah.
At least the first batch of songs. I've got probably 50 or 60 songs by now from the Song Machine itself. So
that's great.
So to pick through those, and that's another thing I want to say real quick about the Song Machine is, as a musician and a performer, you have to be prepared, or a songwriter, you have to be prepared to write some duds, because you're going to write a few duds and you have to accept it, because how are you going to write the great ones if you don't write some duds,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's like the first song. Sometimes it'll come to you in an instant, like your first song you played about your dad.
Yeah. Oh, it came to me in an instant. And then the first song I did for the Song Machine also came to me real quick. The topic of it was excuses. And I wrote this song called Excuses Kill Your Dreams, which is on Bandcamp if anybody wants to check it out. That one and Old Beat Up Cars, they're both on Bandcamp if you want to check them out.
Awesome. It's great. Well, Randy, it's been so great getting to know you and meeting you now, and I'm just so impressed. Alex, thank you for being here.
And if I forgot to mention anybody or any project that I've been involved with, I'm sorry. I love all you guys.
Yeah, come on. Randy named about 17 of them, so take it easy on them, all right? Yeah, that's great. I'm sure they'll understand, Randy. And everyone else, before you leave this video, if you liked it, please like the video before you leave and comment below your experience and tell us what your favorite song was of this episode. And be sure to subscribe to Creepalachia as well before you leave YouTube. And also, if you're on Apple or Spotify, review the show. Those reviews really help the show be found. And we are on Facebook and TikTok, Instagram, and we got t-shirts on creepalachia.shop. And last but not least, above all else, everyone always remember, long live Appalachia.
Long live Appalachia.
There it is.